What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're a full Terrrain moves Pokemon team. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing all the Terrrain moves, items, and abilities and strategies that work with them. This one is for Cotmeister, and thank you very much for all the love on stream and, of course, all the pickles. Now, the question for today is, I've been up for like 30-something hours, so how long have you stayed up for? What's the longest time you've stayed awake for? Let me know in the comment section. Before we get into the battles, we have a quick channel sponsor, Heroes Era Magic Storm. If you're into the mobile gaming, Heroes Era Magic Storm is a dark, magical role-playing action game. It's got some nice HD graphics, effects, and a stunning fantasy world to immerse yourself in, all in 3D. There is a huge range of unlockable characters and costumes and divine pets to play with in this game. This game contains a powerful anti-cheating mechanism to ensure fun and fair play for everyone. There are a number of boss battles and hordes of monsters to defeat along the way to gather experience and power up your champion to the best that they can be. You can also build a guild and compete in PvP against other players around the world. Heroes Era Magic Storm also contains endless benefits like growth funds, diamond rewards, VIP, as well as a divine gift that lots of players are waiting to get. If this game interests you, you can download it and check it out in the description of the video. Thank you, Heroes Era Magic Storm, for the channel sponsor. Alright, let's get into these battles. Now, both these battles were really long and exciting, exactly like something else. This is the battle on my Discord. This is against Misty Dog. If you guys want to check out my Discord, the link is in the description of the video. I take my battles there every day, basically at a random time. Also, there's a whole bunch of other channels there, like Shiny Hunters, Showdown, VGC, just general chat, stuff like that. So come along, links in the description of the video. Alright, so we got a Jinx lead here. It's going to be spamming that Ice Beam real quick against Flogs. That actually does a fair amount of damage to me as well. So the strategy I'm going to be using with the Flogs is a Grassy Terrain secret power strategy. Now what that does is Grassy Terrain sets a Grassy Terrain up on the field and also boosts the power of grass type moves, and it leaves like a little terrain on the field that heals both random players, right? And now I've got secret power. Secret power actually has a 30% chance of actually putting the opponent to sleep, and it also does the Vine Whip animation too with the Grassy Terrain on the field, which is pretty cool because I always thought Flogs was like a grass type Pokemon. I mean, even now, it definitely looks like a grass type, but it's literally a flower up. Unfortunately for me, I don't put the Jinx to sleep with the secret power, and Flogs is going to go down. Now, I had max health and max attack on that set. That's why secret power did like so much damage coming from Flogs. The item I had on that was Terrain Extender, and what Terrain Extender does, well, it extends the terrain. I bet you never knew that one. Alright, so now we're going to swap in them a while here. I wanted every Pokemon to have like a terrain move, like a different terrain move, and like a unique strategy to them as well. So Jinx stays in and goes for the Ice Beam. Man, that does so much damage to me. I'm definitely thinking that was definitely choice specs, and we're going to go for the Misty Terrain now. Now, unfortunately for me, that Jinx actually stayed in and did like a whole hunk of damage to me. I'm going to get the Misty Seed. That was my item. That's going to bolster my special defense. Unfortunately for me, Jinx just did like so much damage on the first one. Mawile is not going to be able to withstand the second one. But don't worry, guys. Mawile will be back in Mawile in the second battle. Sorry, I had to do that one. All right, next Pokemon we got is Tapu Fini. Now, this is a pretty cool set, and this has my very favorite Z move on it, which is Tapium Z. So you got to tap that, guys. We got Nature's Madness, Brine, Misty Terrain, and Nature Power. So I'm not going to use any of my Z move yet. However, I'm going to go for the Nature Power and knock out the naughty nickname. So we got the Nature Power. If that's got the Misty Terrain on the field, it's going to turn into Moonblast, right, which is pretty cool. I thought I'd base that around terrain kind of move because it's like all based around terrain. All right, so now we got the Clink coming in here. I'm going to go for the Tapium Z, Nature's Madness, and that turns into a Guardian of Alola. Now, this move, the Z move, you never ever see, right? No one used it, but I think it's like my favorite Z move. Basically, what happens, not only does like a really cool like golden golem like just pop its head out, or well, pop its body out of the ground, not its head, and you attach your head onto it, and then you just like smack them with that fit. Damn, son, could you imagine? Like, seriously, real talk. Those cogs on the Clink just, they got turned back into a grandfather clock. Anyway, so it's going to be a binding, I'd say it's going to be like a binding, toxicking Clink, and the whole strategy, right, is to put them below half health or less than half health and go for the powerful Brine. What Brine does, if the target's health is half or less, it actually boosts the double base power. So normally it's 65, so 65 times 2 is the base power on that, and there is no way that's going to be living, and that's stab as well. This is max speed, max special attack. This is a very speedy offensive Tapu Fini. I'll probably call that Tapu Koko at some point. Alright, so now we got the Kricketune coming in. Dilly whoop. It's going to go for an air race on my Tapu Fini. It's not really going to do too much damage. Now I'm going to go for the Nature's Madness. So after using my Z move, I can still use Nature's Madness and use my Brine strategy. So now Brine is going to be at full base power if it hits this Kricketune. However, Kricketune senses that Brine is not going to like that. And in comes the Octillery. So I was like, okay, what's Octillery going to do to me? I mean, I can still do, like, Nature's Madness against that. That'll still do some good damage, and then I can go for a Brine. Brine will probably even get very close to taking out. But just in case it had something super effective against me, I wasn't running, like, a super bulky Tapu Fini set I was going to swap out. And it's going to go for a Bullet Seed, so it's a physical artillery. Man, look at those seeds. They're coming out of it. What actually is that, anyway? Is that would you call that a snout? I don't know, like, it's coming. Anyway, regardless of what it is, those balls are coming out of that hole. And that's hitting me, like, I think they hit me 4 times. So on this Mashana set, let's go over this one. We got Psychic Terrain, Trick Room, Future Sight, and Moonlight. This is a really cool set. Now we got the Kamala swapping into this one with the Comatose. I'm thinking it's probably got some kind of dark type move, but with the Psychic Terrain outright, it won't be able to use stuff like Sucker Punch. Like I know it gets that one on the physical side. Alright, so the battlefield got a little bit weird. Now the item I've got on this one is a Psychic Seed, which is going to bolster my special defense. So I really want to use all the items and moves I could with this. Now Kamala's going to go for a Sucker Punch, which is going to fail because that fails in the Psychic Terrain. And I thought, okay, they've gone for that. That's good for me. I went for a Future Sight, and now since their move failed, they can go for a Stomping Tantrum, which is actually going to double the base power because of a failed move. Mashana just hangs on a 9 health. That was very, very lucky there. I just am able to get off the Trick Room, which is really good. So now I can go for the Moonlight, like stall out the next turn. I know that I can probably leave like a return or something like that from the Kamala. And if it does go, it can't go for like Sucker Punch. If it goes for Stomping Tantrum again, it's not going to take me out. So I thought I could definitely leave like a normal type move. So now it's going to go for a Stomping Tantrum here. That's definitely not going to take me out. It's still going to do some pretty good damage to me. And I'm able to live that one. And guess what, guys? The Future Sight is going to come to effect. And with the Psychic Terrain up, that is no games are getting played there, people. Kamala, that drop bear is going to fall out of the tree. We had max health and max special attack. Quiet nature on that one. Okay, I had synchronized ability too. That was my ability if I didn't say that one already. Alright, so Kricketune is going to come in here. I was definitely thinking, okay, it might use Fell Stinger, and it's going to use Fell Stinger. And obviously my Mashana is going to go down to that one. I did, however, get the Future Sight off, which is good. I knew Future Sight would be enough to take out the Kricketune. The problem was, right, I have to, like, wait for those turns to take it out. So there was a Pokemon I really had to sacrifice here, which was, I was thinking, should I sacrifice Tapu Fini here, or should I sacrifice one of my other Pokemon? So going to Tapu Fini, we got the Misty Surge upon the field, and I'm going to do a double swap here into my Alola Raichu. So I thought, okay, maybe they'll go for something like Aerial Waste. They probably won't go for a bug type move because I'm fairy, but they went for another Fell Stinger, and Raichu is going to get absolutely shredded. And the Kricketune is now going to have +6 attack. What I was going to do is swap out into that and try and paralyze it, but that wasn't the case. Okay, I've got 2 Pokemon left. I've got to take out this Cricket. I've got an Octopus left and one other Pokemon. Now, I'm going to go for the Nature Power here, which is going to turn into the Moonblast, and that's going to do some really good damage to Kricketune. Kricketune isn't a very bulky Pokemon either, and that one is going to go down, which is nice. So I've got that one left and one other Pokemon. Switch Dimensions is going to turn to normal too. That was definitely a Choice Scarf Kricketune. I only just realize that later on in the battle, because none of my Pokemon are like super fast, right? Alright, so now we've got the Octillery coming in. I know this is going to use Seed Bomb, Bullet Seed. It can use both those moves. And now those seeds are going to come out of that hole again. Look at that. Like, how many... I'm going to count the seeds. Let's count them real quick. I think that's... Wait, how many seeds come in? Someone in the comment section, count how many seeds comes out of Octillery's beak every single time. Like, those seeds have gone too fast, man. Alright, so down goes my Tapu Fini. The last Pokemon I've got is the Go-Go, and man, this set was, like, this was the MVP of, like, nearly every battle. So, interestingly enough, a lot of you probably haven't used Go-Go's other ability. Everyone likes to use Sap Sipper. I'm going to be using Grass Pelt today. So, firstly, we're going to set up the Grassy Terrain, and I'm going to have the Grassy Seed, which is going to bolster my defense at 1 stage. Now, the ability Grass Pelt actually boosts the Pokemon's defense stat in Grassy Terrain, and it is a big, big buff, especially with the Grassy Terrain and the Seed, like the Grassy Seed. This thing's like super bulky. I ran max health, max special defense. We got Grassy Terrain, Bulk Up, Horn Leech, and Substitute with the Grass Pelt ability. Grass Pelt is like very, very underrated. Anyways, we're going to take out the Octopus with the Horn Leech there. Horn Leech with the sustain and obviously an attacking move, and it got powered up by the Grassy Terrain as well. Bulk up, which is to give me a little bit of extra defense, not that it really needed, and bolster the power of Horn Leech. Right, the last Pokemon we got is the Furret. Now, this bit I had to speed up like 4 or 5 times. Alright, so pretty much what was happening here, the Furret actually couldn't withstand my Substitute. It was knocking it off so much. I think it took like 3 knockoffs to actually take it out. And now I had Super Fang to get around my Grass Pelt boost, which is a little bit of a problem. Then I was thinking, it's probably not going to be that bad because if it has like a normal type move, it's not going to do too much damage, right? Then it uses Rest, heals itself off, and it's got a Chester Berry. So like, okay, it's trying to stall me out, that's fine. I went for another Horn Leech, and then it popped out the Toxic. That was pretty much this only set strategy, like flaw to the strategy if I didn't have to substitute up. And now what Furret was doing was going for the Super Fang, continually getting past my defenses. I had to set up this the Grassy Terrain here and get enough bolsters there. Just missing the KO on the Horn Leech, and the Furret is actually going to go for the Rest here, trying to stall me out, desperately trying to get that Toxic damage. The good thing about it actually going for the Rest there, it actually gave me more chance to get more health back, and Furret is going to go down. Toxic didn't have enough turns to actually rack up the damage, and that one is game. Hope you guys enjoyed there, man. That was a big clutch there from Go-Go at the end. That Grass Pelt though. Alright, second battle. This one's against Tapu Dust. This is on my Discord as well. I take all my battles on Discord, and you know what? I need a drink. After all that grass pelting. That sounds like, Grass Pelt, that sounds like, do you know what that ability sounds? I'm going to explain the ability Grass Pelt IRL. So you get a really old ass lawnmower, right? You try and pull it back and forth and it doesn't mow the grass. So you actually have to put the lawnmower right on top of the grass, and then grass pelts into your legs. That's the ability IRL. Anyway, so we've got a Nuzleaf lead here, and I'm going to get my electric terrain up. This is a Surge Surfer Raichu. Alola Raichu, so obviously when electric terrain goes on the field, Surge Surfer kicks in and you get a 50% boost in speed. Sorry, you double your speed. So I've got the defense as well with electric seed, which is going to be very helpful. Unfortunately for me, I smacked that Nuzleaf with a kiss real quick, but it like got through with 2 feint attacks, and it's going to take me out. Oh, poor Raichu. Raichu didn't have much help in this battle. Let me tell you what that set was anyway. We electric terrain, Sweet Kiss, Nuzzle, and Charge Beams, Surge Surfer, and Electric Seed. Max health, max special attack. So electric terrain like making up that no speed EVs. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Mawile here. It's going to go for Explosion. Like, okay, obviously it didn't have much else to use. Maybe it thought it'd go down the stern, so it just thought for a Explosion, right? That actually still did pretty good damage, considering it was not very effective and there was an Intimidate in play. That was pretty good. Now, we've got to set up the Misty Terrain here. We no longer need the electric terrain. And we're going to see if we can get some more action out of this Mawile than the last battle. So just to remind you, this was a Misty Terrain, Flash Cannon, Fairy Wind, Charge Beam set. Man, I've been up for so long. Like, I'm so tired. I can't wait to go to bed after this. Alright, so we got another sped up bit. So this Delmise was a Toxic Whirlpool trapping set. I've run something similar to this myself. I think I ran like Anchor Shot or something like that. I've also done a Whirlpool one too. So it had leftovers, and I could not just break through this thing's defense. I was desperately trying to get a Charge Beam boost. Then I sort of gave up getting a Charge Beam boost and trying to get like a special defense drop. Then I went for a Disrespect Fairy Wind at the end, and it did like 2 damage. So Mawile got completely walled then. So now we're going to go into Mushan here. The Whirlpool actually misses. I'm going to set that Frick Room up. So I thought I might be able to get through this with a really like powerful Future Sight maybe. I just want to see what it's going to do. So I did a double swap into my Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini really couldn't do too much damage here. It actually takes a big critical hit for the Delmise. And I went for the Moonblast, but unfortunately that big crit at the start actually took my Tapu Fini out, and I couldn't use my Z move anymore. So my last hope here to actually take this Delmise out, right? I had no other Pokemon that could actually take this out, was the Future Sight. So firstly going for the Psychic Terrain, getting that boost in Special Defense. Giga Drain is not going to do too much damage at all. I really need to one-shot this in like one go right. So now it's going to go for Protect there. I went for the Moonlight, healing myself up. So in the middle of the turn, it's going to get hit by the Future Sight under the Psychic Terrain, and man, that gets absolutely shredded. Like, Future Sight has got some really nice base power, right? I guess that's a trade-off for it taking like so many turns to land. Alright, so now we've got the Palisand coming in here. I've still got the Psychic Terrain up, so I thought, I might be able to get like another Future Sight off and maybe live whatever this Sandcastle is going to throw at me. I wasn't sure whether it's going to be like a special set or like a physical set. However, it's going to be a speedy set Rock Polish, so good to see like a slower Pokemon boosting its speed. Alright, so now we've got a Z move here, and this is going to be coming off a Rock type move or like a ground type, a Rock type move. and it's going to be, well, I wasn't sure whether it's going to be like a physical or a special one. So we got the Z move here, which is going to be the Continental Crush. I knew that I could live this one regardless whether it was physical or special. Mashana's very, very bulky. Oh, I didn't say what my EVs were. I may have, I actually can't remember if I did. If I didn't, it was max health, max special attack, quiet nature. So I take that one like super, super well there. I'm going to go for the Moonlight, and that's going to get like all my health back, which is really, really nice. I know Mashana's like quite a forgotten, unnoticed Pokemon, so it really did shine well in this battle. Now, we got an Earthquake, so this answers my question whether it was a physical or special set, and the Earthquake, like really, the Earthquake does nearly as much as a Z move did, which is quite funny. So now I'm going to set that Trick Room up again. I'm kind of like stalling out the Future Sight, and I'm wondering how much damage it's going to do. I'm pretty confident it's going to like at least do a 2-hit KO. So the Sandcastle gets hit by the Future Sight, and it gets bodied in one shot. That was a critical hit, but that would have done very, very big damage regardless. I wasn't sure whether, if that was like max speed and max attack, I don't think that actually mattered. Alright, the next Pokemon we got is a Sneasel, and guess what, guys? I'm completely walled. I don't have like a ring target or Miracle Wire or anything like that, so I thought, okay, I'll just set up the Psychic Terrain and let this Sneasel KO me. There's nothing I can really do. I don't really want to swap out against this thing either. It can have like really annoying moves like Beat Up, Knock Off, things like that. So I'm just going to lay in for that taunt there. I can't do anything at all. I can only go for the Future Sight. It's going to do nothing against this Sneasel, unfortunately. Man, I really, really wish I had a ring target there. That would have been so good. Anyway, so Sneasel's going to go for the knockoff. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. I don't have an item. The next knockoff is going to take me out. I went for Future Sight. I cannot do anything at all. I've got no other attacking move, and Sneasel is going to take me out. Mashana got heavily countered there. I was very happy with its performance. Like, that took out Delmise, and it took out the Palisand. That was like sort of like the core of their team. So now we're going to go into Flogs. I was like, okay, this time I've got to get the Secret Power going. So I just went for Secret Power on the Psychic Terrain, right? I was like, bugger it, let's do this. And guess what, guys? It's going to set up the Reflex. It's like, oh, here we go. So it's going to do like no damage. I wasn't really sure if this was like an Everlight set or just like a Mimi sort of like a, you know, like bulky kind of set. I wasn't really sure. Anyway, so the Trick Room is going to wear off there. And now Sneasel's going to go for the Toxic. So I'm like, okay, that's annoying. So it's like a bulky set. So Sneasel like is a very frail Pokemon normally. So it's definitely got like Everlight and Reflect and, Toxic. So it's definitely like a bulky set, right? So setting up that Grassy Terrain, I want to see if I can get those Secret Powers going. And I actually wanted to see how much Secret Power would do before it set up Reflect. So clearly it's not going to do a lot of damage, but I really need to put this Pokemon to sleep, right? All I've got left is the big goat, and that's it. And I don't really want my, I don't really want to swap it into a Toxirite. That's very risky. Alright, so it's going to knock off my Terrain Extender, which is sort of annoying because I kind of wanted that, maybe for a little bit later on. And I get the Secret Power Rest. I actually got it. The 30% chance. That was so good. Like, I couldn't believe my luck that was like right when I needed it. So now my options were to stay in and go for 100 Secret Powers, which probably won't take it out, or swap into the Big Goat and see if we can get the bulk ups and stuff happening there. So straight into Big Goat. The good thing about this is the Grassy Terrain is already on the field, so my Grassy Seed is going to activate. Now, out of all of the seeds, Grassy Seed is definitely the less used seed out of all of them. Like, all the others are fairly commonly used. Yeah, you get like the Electric Seed, Holucha, all that kind of crap. So, it was really good to use this sort of like unknown item that's not that great. Or it can be situational and decent, but mostly it's outclassed by a lot of things. Okay, so first things first, I've got to go for the Substitute. And with the Grass Pelt up, I was like, is this even going to be able to like... This should be like 2 to 3 hit KOs to actually, or shots to actually take out my Substitute. So now it's going to wake up, it's going to use the knockoff against me, and the only thing I was worried about was Toxic. That's it. Sneasel was not a worry at all. So going for the Horn Leech under the Reflect actually worn off there, but since I'm running no EVs in attack, it actually doesn't take it out, and clearly it has the Everlight, I wouldn't have lived that one so well. So I was thinking, yeah, this would be a good opportunity to start up setting up the bulk ups. I've still got to like contend with 3 other Pokemon. And if I can take them out, I wasn't really sure if I could take them out. If they do manage to get like a Toxic up against me, it was all over. So I have to be very careful. So I thought I'd actually leave, I thought that knockoff would actually take 2 hits to actually take me out. It took 3 knockoff to break my Substitute with the Seed and the Grass Pelt. I can't believe that's so bulky. Like, imagine if I run like a max health, max defense one. Anyway, so throwing out the Substitute again, I knew I just had to keep doing that until it actually broke it. So now I know that the Sneasel is a 3-hit KO to actually get rid of my Substitute. So now I can freely set up the bulk ups against this thing. So now it's going to set up the Reflect. That's not really much of a problem because I can just bulk up and bulk up. Reflect is eventually going to wear off, and they've got Everlight, so they don't have like Light Clay or anything, so it's only going to be around down for 5 turns, right? Alright, so setting up that bulk up, which is really nice. Now, Sneasel's probably going to take, I reckon like maybe even closer to 4 hits now to actually break my substitute, which is absolutely hilarious. Now, unfortunately, the grass are going to disappear from the field, so I'm not going to get my bonus from grass pelt anymore, which sucks. So that's going to turn it back to about, I was like maybe like a 2 to 3 hit KO, well, not a KO, like a 2 to 3 hit to actually get rid of the substitute there. So putting up that Grassy Terrain, which is very, very important. Not only does it make me bulky, it powers up all my grass type moves too, which is very important for this set. Considering I'm running mostly bulk, right? I need a couple of bulk ups to do much damage. Alright, so now Sneasel's going to go for another knockoff there. I knew that I did that one since the grass pelt is now up. And I can go for a Horn Leech, and that is going to do some really solid damage to the Sneasel. And that's going to take it out there nicely. And that's going to get me some health recovery back too. I don't think the crit there really mattered. It could have lived, sure, but there was no way Sneasel was ever going to beat Go-Go in that situation. It was just far too bulky. Alright, the next Pokemon we got is another Dark-type Pokemon, being the Umbreon. So, like, okay, Umbreon normally carries Toxic. Let's get some more bulk ups up against this thing, and it's usually quite a bulky Pokemon too. I'm wondering, like, what set they were going to run on it. Like, it could be a physical one, a special one, a stalling one. I wasn't really sure. So now the Umbreon's going to go for a workup. So, like, okay, it's going to be a physical or special set. Now, on the special side, Go-Goat is fairly bulky, but if it does get hit by something reasonably strong, like a Choice Spec set, that's neutral or super effective, it does get hit pretty hard, even with like amazing health and special defense, right? Alright, so go for the Horn Leech. It doesn't really do too much damage there, unfortunately. And now Umbreon's going to go for the Dank Pulse. So the Dank Pulse actually takes out my substitute. So like, okay, is this going to be enough to take out my substitute in one shot? That was another thing I kind of wanted to test too. Alright, so the Refractor's down. I can go for Horn Leech like freely now. It's going to do like a lot more damage. And now I'm going to throw that substitute up again and see how much it does. I mean, if it doesn't break it, I can go for another bulk up, right? And that'd be really good because I can go for another Horn Leech after that. However, the substitute is getting broken. So it's probably just doing a little bit more than the substitute's damage there, which is sort of unfortunate for my Go-Goat. Now, this is, I was thinking, should I go for substitute again? I can't really do it because if it's hiding Toxic, I'm really going to be in a bad place. So I decided, bugger it, let's go for Horn Leech and take this Umbreon out real quick. So Horn Leech does some really good damage. The next one is, almost going to take it out. But then I was thinking if I get the Grassy Terrain up maybe the next turn, that'll actually help me out. So now, unfortunately for me, the Umbreon actually has a Citrus Berry there, and it's going to get some more health recovery. Now it's freely going to go for the Dark Pulse. So I was thinking, okay, that's not doing too much damage there. If I go for the Horn Leech, I can definitely sustain off that damage and, take it out there. So Horn Leech doing some good damage. The next Horn Leech is going to take out the Umbreon. And there's one other Pokemon which I was quite confident that I could beat, depending on what the set was, right? It all depended on what it was. So Umbreon is not touching me at all. I reckon probably Dark Pulse is probably about a 6-hit KO. Alright, so another Horn Leech that's going to take out the Umbreon. I'm going to get some more recovery from the Horn Leech, which was really nice. I could have set up the Grassy Terrain there. I was just kind of worried about it. If I got critical hit, that could have been, really bad. Alright, the next Pokemon we got is the normal Rotom. So I was like, okay, I probably need to get Grassy Terrain up against this thing. It's probably going to hit me reasonably hard, or it's going to try and status me. It's going to have Signal Beam, so Signal Beam is super effective. However, since I've got max health and max special defense, I'm able to just go for the Horn Leech and nearly take it out in one shot. I didn't go for the Grassy Terrain there. I just went for the attack in case it did have something super effective. The next one is going to take out the Rotom, and that, my friends, is game. Hope you enjoyed both of these battles, man. This is a really long battle, but it was really fun to use all the train moves, the items, and abilities. Now, I didn't get any bloopers today, but I did get a really good bonus battle, so make sure you stick around for that one. It was a really good watch. I'll catch you guys probably Thursday or Friday. Peace.